this night here in the Rockies. Are you ready for some baseball? Rumor has it there's something else going on in town, but we're at Coors Field for the beginning of a 3-game series featuring the Rockies of Colorado and the surging Mets of New York. In the Big Apple, they're already starting to talk about a possible Subway Series. Yes, the New York Mets trail Atlanta, but they're up in the wild card, while the Yankees feeling some pressure from Boston now after the Red Sox swept them in New York over the weekend. Hi again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong along with George Frazier. Well, the Mets are coming to town. The Rockies in that unenviable role of being the spoiler, and they go at them with 2 young kids in the first 2 starts of this series.
John Thompson's getting a second chance at these Mets. He started against them May 12th. Matter of fact, matched up against Rick Reed and was a loser in that ball game. He only went 2 2/3. And Jamie Wright, who pitched brilliantly in New York and went 8 innings and threw the most pitches he had in any one ball game, 143, will get the nod tomorrow night. I hope these 2 young rookies take advantage of this situation and accept the challenge.
Well, this is certainly a very good Mets lineup, led by Mike Piazza again, the cleanup hitter.
Well, what great numbers he has, particularly against Thompson in all of baseball. You look at it here, 27 ball games, 12 home runs, 41 RBIs against Thompson, 4 for 5, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs. So it could be a long night. He needs to control Piazza.
And Piazza's hot right now, too. He's hit 3 home runs in the last 5 games. So can John Thompson stop Mike Piazza? Jim Leyland trying to push his team forward past the Mets here tonight. 7 of 8. They just got through taking 3 of 4 from the Dodgers in Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, Mike Piazza certainly had a great series, and Darrell Hamilton comes back to Coors Field in a different uniform.
Well, he does, and I think that even gives a little more delight for Hamilton to come back and prove to the Rockies after a 3-year contract for well over $9 million was traded away to the New York Mets. I don't think you'd trade the position now. 2 back in the chase with the Atlanta Braves, 2.5 lead in the games on the wild card. Why change uniforms again? He likes where he is.
Absolutely, and he's in that lineup tonight, brought to you by Eagle Hardware and Garden. Leading off will be the veteran left fielder Ricky Henderson. He's followed by Edgardo Alfonso and John Olerud. Piazza, you see his numbers against Thompson. We've already talked about that. Ventura and Hamilton will follow. He also has good numbers, and Cedeno, second in the league in stolen bases with 63. That's a Mets record. Ordonez and Reed complete the order for the Mets. Defensively for the Rockies, it's Bichette, Berry, and Walker. Walker in there in right field tonight. Only 4 errors all year and 11 assists. Casilla, Perez, Shumpert, Helton around the infield. Petrick is behind the plate and on the mound again. Checker Auto Parts starting pitcher is John Thompson.
1-7 on the year. The earned run average 808. Not good numbers if you're John Thompson. Since his recall, he's 1-2 with a 502 earned run average. He's thinking a little revenge against the Mets. Mentioned it earlier, on May 12th, he matched up against the Mets and Rick Reed and was the loser in 2 2/3 innings.
Well, that was the start that really sent him to the minor leagues after that rough outing against the Mets here on the 12th of May. After that, he was sent to the minor leagues and then recalled the 15th of August. How about the keys to this game, brought to you by Melody Homes?
Well, I think you've got to control Piazza. That's the big key for Thompson because of his numbers. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Take advantage of every opportunity. They're number 3 or number 4 in pitching in the National League, number 1 in defense. You're not going to get many chances against this, and I think you should enjoy the role of a spoiler. Enjoy tonight's ball game. Enjoy the fact you're playing against a ball club that's playing for an awful lot.
Well, they certainly are. The Mets with 88 wins already this year. That's why they're smiling as Ricky Henderson digs in. Henderson a little bit sluggish so far on the trip. And for the Mets, 9 of their next 12 will be played on the road. Just coming in from Los Angeles. Henderson 1 for 11 so far on the trip, but he has walked 3 times. The thing you have to consider with Ricky Henderson, and it's been true throughout his career, well, obviously he's a stolen base threat. It's hard to keep him off the base paths. His on-base percentage this year at .442. 400 is great for a leadoff batter. .442, that puts you in another stratosphere. 2 quick strikes from Thompson, though.
Well, 2 fastballs on pitches that Henderson doesn't particularly like. He likes the ball out over the plate. He doesn't like a ball inside on his hands, and Thompson's been able to put both pitches on the inside half of the plate.
Another one inside, but that one too far, and it's 1-2.
Well, as a pitcher, what you try to do to Anderson is get him to come up out of his crouch. Ricky has always been a player that when he's at the plate, he reduces the strike zone by getting down in the crouch. That's one of the reasons he has walked a lot in his career.
Strike 3 called. Out goes Ricky Henderson. Henderson strikes out.
Pretty good pitching by Thompson. 2 fastballs on the inside half, then one a little bit farther, then comes back with the hard slider. Right on the outside corner. A perfect pitch, a good location, a good job receiving the ball by Petrie.
Now Edgardo Alfonzo hit a home run last night in Los Angeles. And that gave him not only 25 homers on the year, but 100 runs batted in.
Yeah, how'd you like to have him hitting second? A lot of clubs would like to have him hitting third or fourth in their lineup.
Alfonzo, one of 3 Mets who have 100 or more RBIs. The other 2 are Piazza and Ventura. First time in Mets history they've had 3 guys with 100-plus ribbies in the same year. Piazza with 112. Ventura, who hits behind him, has 112. Slider hit in the hole, and it gets by both Castilla and Perez for a seeing-eye single.
Well, the pitch was a changeup from Thompson. So what happens is Castilla recognizes the pitch. He takes a step to the right thinking he might pull the ball. He gambled here and gambled up empty. This ball gets into the outfield between Perez and Castilla.
Now John Olerud, 3 for 17 in Los Angeles. You see his average still over 300. He has a chance. He'd have to finish strong, but he has a chance to get 100 ribbies with 81 right now. You have to average an RBI a game to do it. 2-0 now as Thompson works from the stretch. Alfonzo at first, 1 out here in the first. The Mets at 88 and 56. In fact, it's the best record they've had at this point in the season since 1986. What did they do in '86? Oh yeah, they won the World Series that year. 3-0 now to Olerud. The Mets already with 88 wins. They had 88 wins in each of the last 2 years. See Olerud up there in the walk department. Looks like he's going to get another one here unless Thompson can find the range, and he can't. A 4-pitch walk to Olerud. So now 2 are aboard. Well, here's some cheers tonight from this slight crowd at Coors Field. And the reason's simple. There aren't many people here. 2 people over at Mile High tonight, I would imagine.
Hottest ticket in baseball.
You mean over at Mile High?
Sure. Right now there's a baseball game going on. It's the hottest ticket anywhere.
Yes.
Go over and watch John Elway have his number retired.
That's going to be a special night. Our congratulations to Elway. An unbelievable career. A career that is almost beyond description. To see him go out a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Mike Piazza, I mentioned 3 home runs in the last 5, also 9 ribbies in the last 5 games. He had a 4-hit game against the Dodgers on Saturday night, including a home run. Fastball inside, 1-1 to Piazza.
Well, with Thompson, Piazza is able to adjust his swing simply because Thompson, everything he throws is hard. Now, Leland sent him down with the perception he would learn to throw the changeup in more crucial situations. Now, that's something Piazza has not seen from Thompson. All he's seen is the very good fastball, the good slider, and everything's hard. So it's not hard to adjust to that if you're a hitter.
Hit. Here comes Alfonzo to score. Piazza Piazza with an RBI single, and the Mets lead 1-0.
Well, a 1-1 count from Thompson. Let's take a really good look at what Piazza was looking at. A fastball right in the heart of the plate, up in the strike zone. Look at the level of the pitch. That is belt high, not on down at the knees and not on the outside half of the plate. One thing with Piazza, he will make you pay for a mistake, and he does here against Thompson. Now you can look at 5 for 6 with 7 RBIs against Thompson. 2 of those hits have been home runs.
That's not too good, is it?
That's not real good at all, no.
If you're Thompson.
If you're Thompson, it's great if you're Piazza and the Mets. They're having a pretty good time with it. For Thompson, he's not very happy right now.
No. Yeah, here's Robin Ventura. You know, I was thinking the way Mike Piazza is swinging the bat, you could call him Batman. It would be Batman and Robin. 2 here. Oh, safe. Ventura beat it out at first. Tap to the mound. They get Piazza at second. Olerud moves to third. 2 out now here in the first.
Ball not hit hard enough to Thompson to be able to turn a quick 2. He had to wait on the ball to come down off of the bat of Ventura. Ventura's speed never was great, but it's not as good simply because of the injury to his ankle. He broke that ankle so severely with the White Sox. Amazing he's even able to come back and perform at the level that he does.
Well, here's Darryl Hamilton playing for the first time since Saturday night. He made an amazing catch at Dodger Stadium on Saturday night to rob Gary Sheffield of a double. He went into deep right center field, and as he was catching the ball, he slammed into the wall. His knee collided with that wall, a big bruise on the left knee, and he has missed action since then.
Was that catch as good as the catch here at Coors Field that he had?
Yes, it was. I had a chance to see both of them. That Hamilton catch the other day was about as good as you're going to see. Reminded me a little bit of the catch Rondell White made here several years ago when he injured his spleen. Although in this case, Hamilton was jumping. He made the catch and the knee slammed into the wall. Fouled on a play, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, I was about to say you'll probably hear a few cheers tonight because there are quite a few Mets fans. And with the slight attendance, they are going to be heard tonight. Good stop by Peacher. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Darryl Hamilton. Hamilton 2 for 9 on this trip. Showed you his numbers against JT. 4 for 8 against Big Red. This has got to feel a little strange to Hamilton, though. Here he is wearing a Mets uniform, his club in the wild card lead, and just 2 back in the East. Last time he was here at Coors Field, he was wearing a different uniform. Bouncing ball foul.
Well, you got to remember his feelings were hurt. He just got signed to a 3-year contract for over $9 million. Thinks he's going to spend the next 3 years in Denver as the regular center fielder. And then to get traded to a ball club to New York City, readjust, make new teammates, all new teammates, make new friends. That's not easy for a player to adjust to. And on the bright side of that, obviously, your ball club's in a pennant race.
Tapper foul, so that'll add a little injury to injury. Still 2-2. I had a chance to visit with Darryl Hamilton in Los Angeles last Saturday, too, and asked him about his comments that he made after leaving Colorado, saying, and this was his quote, that some of the players on the Rockies team were a bit selfish. And he said he didn't mean that against the entire clubhouse. He said if it was taken that way, he's sorry for that comment. But he said he figured that the guys that it was directed towards got the message. Pitch is again fouled back. So Thompson and Hamilton having quite a battle here. 1-0 Mets. We're in the first.
inning starting out, much like the inning last night for Pedro as far as the innings and the pitch count in the inning. 25 pitches already in the first inning for Thompson. Last night, Estacio had 33 pitches and gave up 5 runs on 6 hits. Thompson trying to wiggle off the hook here with only giving up 1.
Got him looking. Good fastball from Thompson in the mid-90s. And Hamilton caught looking. 2 strikeouts for Thompson, but he surrenders a run. The Rockies are coming up. Nate beat Perez. 4 for 12 against Reed. Then Shumpert, Walker. Pretty good in September when he plays. Then Bichette, Helton, Castilla. Great numbers against Reed. Berry, Petrick, and Thompson round out the lineup. Defensively for the Mets, it's Henderson, Hamilton, and Cedeno. Williams, excuse me, Ventura, Ordonez, Alfonso, and Olerud around the infield. Piazza's behind the plate. I was thinking of Robin Williams, not Robin Ventura. And on the mound, it's Reed.
Reed's 10-4 on the year with a 5-point earned run average. 122 1/3. This is his second start. 39-24 with the Mets. That's after being 8-15 with 4 different major league teams. So since he's been over with the Mets, 15 games above 500. And well, I think the Mets are looking to see exactly what he can do as a starting pitcher because they're now using 6. They'll choose 4 for the playoffs.
Perez going after the first pitch, pops it up to left. Henderson's got it. 1 pitch, 1 away. Certainly don't need 6 starters in the playoffs, do you?
Well, and the thing is, you can only exchange pitcher for pitcher, player for player when you set your active roster at 25. So he's been on a disabled list. If he came back, somebody else could come off the active roster, even if they've been with the ball club for 2 or 3 months prior to the August 31st deadline. You've got to look at strengthening your bullpen. In case there is a blowout situation in a playoff ball game, you don't want to burn up a bullpen and have to come back the next day.
So it's a good idea then to go into the playoffs with 1 guy that could really handle long relief?
Well, I think it is. You got to have 1 guy to eat up some innings just in case it happens.
Well, here's Shumpert coming off that career night. 2 home runs in last night's ball game. I've had the opportunity, and Shumpert reminded me of this. He said, you know, you called my other 2-homer game. It was at Yankee Stadium when he was with the Royals in '94. And after he reminded me, I said, I remember that very well.
It's just great that the year Shumpert has had and what he's accomplished. 11 for 11 on the base paths, stealing bases, 9 home runs, 208 at bats. It's the most he's had, except for that 1 year where they gave him an opportunity to be the regular second baseman.
You mentioned the stolen bases. He has 11 straight. Just 2 shy of a club record. Shumpert lifts a pop fly into center. Here comes Hamilton. 2 gone. 2 pop-ups so far from the Rockies. Well, now Larry Walker. Walker with a huge lead in the batting race. Only 3 weeks to go. A 24-point lead over Bobby Abreu. And the way I calculated, George, I believe, and I may be wrong, so I'm not going to say adamantly that this is it, but I believe after adding up the totals that he needs 11 at-bats to get to 502.
Qualify for the batting time at 502. And at that point, I think if Larry's knees continue to bother him, it might be wise to go ahead and have the operation, even if you've got 4 or 5 games left in the season. Now, the rest of the league might think differently because Frisco's coming in here the last 3 games of the season with implications against Arizona, depending on the standings.
Well, it's looking right now that may not matter, although San Francisco would still like to have something to say about it. They trail by 8. The Diamondbacks.
I asked Larry before the game today, I said, do you drop down an ounce or 2 in your bat as it approaches September? Because I remember Kirby Puckett always telling me he's 36-ounce bat all the way through July. Then he would switch and bring it down to 34 ounces, but yet keep his lengths. Of course, Walker's answer was, you better believe I do. As the season wears on, I try to take a couple of ounces off, but still keep the length in the bat. Your arms get tired with all the playing time.
Henderson. Did he get there? He did. Henderson at the shoe top takes a hit away from Larry Walker. Rockies go in order in the first. 1-0 Mets after 1. He gave up a run on 2 hits. Go to the second, but first a reminder that tomorrow on Fox Sports Net Rocky Mountain, Fox Sports News tonight at 5. Mets Rockies, our coverage begins at 5:30. The last word at 9, followed by Fox Sports News prime time at 10. And of course, Keith Olbermann. Wake up, Keith. We wake up with Keith Olbermann every morning. How about that? Well, good for you. Cedeno has been for the Mets. When you consider what the Mets really wanted from Los Angeles in the trade, what the Mets really wanted was Todd Hollandsworth. Well, they settled for Cedeno, and all he's done is hit better than 300 with 63 stolen bases. So Mookie Wilson, who had the old record, the first base coach of the Mets, all he's saying to Roger is, go get him. Here's Ray Ordonez. Cedeno gets a lead, doesn't he?
Well, the Rockies were able to contain him in New York. He didn't steal a base against the Rockies in that weekend series. He only started 2 of the 3. I think he'll test Petrick here, and he'll test John Thompson and try to steal a base and get in scoring position.
Ball hit to Castilla. He's got it, and will throw to first to get Ordonez. That takes a stolen base away from Cedeno. He had a tremendous jump. He's at second base. Ordonez out number 1.
Watch the leg kick and the jump. It happens simultaneously, and then see, look at Cedeno. He's not looking back at all. He's got his head going right to the bag at second base on the straight steal, and then the throw by Castilla in your screen to get the out at first. Now, I'll guarantee you what Ricky Henderson has worked with on Cedeno, because Ricky was one of the best in the game at getting a lead at second base and stealing third base. It surprised me a bit to see Cedeno try to steal third base.
Shumpert right now bird dogging him. Little tapper, past Thompson, but Castilla's got it. Moving to third, Cedeno, but he's there with 2 out. Well, so far, really, the only hard-hit ball by the Mets was the single by Piazza, and that was a fastball right down Main Street. The single by Cedeno was a ground ball up the middle. The single by Alfonso in the first was a ground ball between Castilla and Perez. Here's Ricky Henderson. He struck out looking his first time up. Henderson's stolen base record. Over 1,300 stolen bases in his career. I'm going to now classify that in my list of untouchables. I don't think anyone in baseball history is going to have that many stolen bases again in their career.
Nobody's going to play that long.
I think it goes in with a Cy Young, 511 wins, Nolan Ryan's strikeout total. I think those are some of the untouchable records in baseball. Fastball just missed upstairs, 1-1 to Ricky Henderson. He also has the record for most leadoff home runs in a game throughout a career. That might be another untouchable record. He's a Hall of Famer in my book.
like to go back and look and see what Lou Brock, how many stolen bases Brock had when he reached the age of 40 and was still playing and trying to get his 3,000 hit. Because Henderson still has those threats, the threat of his speed on the base pass. Pitchers are very well aware of it. Ricky's taking good care of himself. Stayed in shape in the offseason.
He looks the same to me as he did 10 years ago.
He hadn't changed a bit.
Said he still feels like he's 25. Doesn't wake up with a lot of aches and pains. Now ball 4. Painful here to Thompson. That's his second walk. Now Edgardo Alfonso. Runners at first and third. And with two quick guys on the base paths, the Rockies have to be very careful about a possible double steal. Alfonso with a single, and he has scored the game's only run. There goes Henderson. No throw from Petrick. Rockies were concerned about the double steal and just let Ricky go. So Henderson adds another one to his stolen base total for his career. 1332 Metro Brokers stolen base leaders. These are the active guys. Lou Brock, he ended with, I guess I had it written down somewhere. I don't have it with me right now, but it was something like 950.
That's pretty close. I think it was 938 what Brock ended up with. Go along with 3,000 hits.
2 strikes here to Edgardo Alfonso. So Ricky now with 400 more stolen bases than anybody else in baseball history. 400. A little squibber to left. Here comes Bichette. He can't get there. No, it dropped. And 2 runs will score. A broken bat, 2-run single for Alfonso.
That's what speed does for you. Remember, Cedeno was stealing second base when it tapped the ball into the infield, then moves to third base again on a slow roller. Thompson makes his pitch on Alfonso. Bichette comes in, keeps the ball in front of him, but is unable to get to his feet and even make a play on Henderson. Henderson scores after stealing second base. Dante right now is ranked second, and this is a little bit surprising to me. He has 12 errors on the year. Bichette has 16 assists. That's second in the National League to Kotze with the Marlins. If you're wondering, Walker's tied for 8th with 11. The jump Henderson had and the ball being weakly hit, I don't know that Dante would even have had a play on him if he would have kept his feet and fielded the ball cleanly out in front of him.
I don't either. Well, here's Olerud, who walked his first time in a hole here, 0-2. Well, he has enjoyed Coors Field, hasn't he?
Look around his career, he's enjoyed a lot of ballparks.
Yes, he has.
He has had a very good career after Toronto said, well, we want you to hit for more power, hit home runs. Later came to the Mets. The average still staying there. The home runs, he has 16 right now with 81 RBIs.
Helton grabs that one and steps on the bag, and that'll do it. But the broken bat 2-run single by Edgardo Alfonso hurts John Thompson, and it's 3-0 Mets after an inning and a half. But he'd like to go back to Oakland and maybe retire as an athletic. When he goes into the Hall of Fame, you know he'll be wearing an A's uniform. Dante Bichette will lead off. He'll be followed by Helton and Castilla. Now, Bichette's struggling this month. He's hitting just 194 in September. Only 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. still has 116 ribbies on the year. Taking a little off. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bichette.
This is the second start for Reed since coming off of the disabled list. He was on the disabled list with a tender arm, and he's coming back. Start against San Francisco was not very successful. This ball tattooed foul down the left field line. Glad they didn't jump over the fence to get it.
Hit for Bichette to lead off the second. Well, it's not too late to sign up your child for a Rocky Rookies Kids Fan Club membership. It's a kids fun pack, tickets to watch a game at Coors Field, and other events just for members of the fan club. Join by calling 312-2-BAT or pick up an application at Target or any Rockies dugout store. Todd Helton, boy, is he on a tear right now. 2 for 4 in last night's ball game, a 4-game hitting streak, and in each game he's had more than 1 hit. His average up to a season high 318. This was a guy that was hitting 262 back on the 12th of June. Rockies get their first 2 men aboard here in the second.
Watched Helton now for a year and a half. Watch the front leg come up. That helps keep his weight to the back and adjust to breaking ball. Exactly what he does here. It's a changeup trying to run away from the strike zone of Todd Helton. He just does a nice job taking it to the opposite field. You spoke of the slump that he started out in, hitting just 261. I think Helton was trying to hit the ball with too much power. He wanted to hit home runs and was trying to pull everything out of the ballpark. Now going to the opposite field.
Here's Vinny Castilla. Vinny with a home run last night. Rockies at the time thought it might give him a win, 9-8, but coughed it up in the 9th inning with a 4-run ninth for the Brewers. Castilla, well, good thoughts against Reed. 6 for 12 with 2 homers against Rick Reed. His next home run will not only be his 30th this year, but the 200th of his major league career. Into right, this won't be it. Bichette tagging at second. And he's heading for third. He'll go in uncontested. Well, Bichette goes to third. They're at the corners now with 1 out. Now Jeff Berry. Berry had that big hit in New York at Shea a week back. Big 3-run double off Chuck McElroy.
Yeah, that happened in the 10th inning with the bases loaded to clear the bases and give the Rockies the win.
Rockies and Mets this year, they've played 6 games. Each team has won 3.
Well, the series overall, 35-30 lead for the Rockies. In this ballpark, 22-9. The Rockies hold that edge.
Rockies took 2 of 3 from the Mets back in May. here. Outside to Berry, ball 1. Berry 0 for 4 in last night's ball game. 0 for 5 on this homestand. Berry hit into not one but 2 double plays in last night's game. One in the 9th. Rockies had 2 men aboard and nobody out. Berry hit into a double play, and that pretty much squashed any plans that the Rockies had of making a comeback. They're crowding him inside. Now it's 3-0.
Well, they're going to try to jam him with fastballs on the inside half of the plate, except Berry's not biting on the ball inside. He stands very close to the plate. Has a tendency to have a little hitch in his swing. So what happens is they think they can sneak the fastball by him. Piazza sets up outside trying to get a strike. Berry got the green light on a 3-0 count, swinging away on a fastball down the middle of the plate. And you look at that 2 ways. Yeah, you can walk and have the bases loaded and have another rookie Petrie coming to the plate. But what do you have to lose?
Of the Mets, the best defense in baseball, and Ordonez and Alfonso do it again, and Berry does it again. He's hit into 3 double plays now in the last 2 games. Rockies gone in the second, 3-0 New York. Nice weather for start of this 3-game series with the New York Mets. John Thompson, he's given up a run in the first and 2 more in the second. 3 runs on just 4 hits for the Mets.
And Thompson has been able to get ahead of 9 of 12 batters he's faced with strike 1. The problem is he hasn't been able to finish them off. He's walked 2 in the ball game. One of those came around to score.
And the other one set up a run. The walk to Olerud pushed Alfonso to second. He came around on this guy's base hit. Strike to Piazza. Mike hitting .320 now. He's in the top 10 as far as average is concerned. In fact, 10th in the National League. Piazza with 35 home runs, also in the top 10 in that category, and with 113 ribbies in the top 10 in that category. So when you look at that, you'd have to say if you were going to give an MVP to someone from New York, I'm not saying you should, but if you were, it would have to be Piazza. And in New York, they're crying out for Robin Ventura. But Piazza has put up better numbers. Not dramatically better, but a little bit better than Ventura. Got under this one, a high pop up to right center. Walker coming in. 1 out. Brand new show here on Fox Sports Net, Rocky Mountain. This week on Rocky Mountain Sports Report. Report on the Avalanche, interviews from the Broncos locker room, and live coverage of Mike Shanahan's press conference. It's the Rocky Mountain Sports Report, Wednesday at noon, 1 Central. Lee Goodman will be your tour guide. Robin Ventura, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Ventura now just 2 for 13 on this road trip. Well, the Mets with the best record in baseball since the 6th of June. They are 61-28 over that span. Atlanta has won 57 games. Houston and Cincinnati 56. Arizona 53. Ground ball, Shumpert. 2 gone. Fox Sports Net Rocky Mountain is proud to sponsor the 24th annual Governor's Cup race and State 5K Wheelchair Championships Sunday, September 26th. For more details, call 303-694-2030. Strike one now to Hamilton. Hamilton struck out looking with runners at first and third back in the first. Two quick strikes on Darrell Hamilton. I'll say this, all the Mets players, manager, coaches, broadcasters, they've all fallen in love with Darrell Hamilton. Helton will scoop. Thompson gets there in plenty of time, and the Mets go in order. So Thompson an easy third. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 3-0 New York. By a double play in the second inning. They'll face Petrick, Thompson, and Perez here in the third.
In his last start against San Francisco, there was no pitch count. He threw 100 pitches in 4 innings. There will be a no pitch count on him tonight either. They'll let him go as long as he can, as long as he's getting the Rockies hitters out. I found it really interesting. A lot of pitchers mature late in their careers, and Reed is one of those. With four other ball clubs, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Texas, and Cincinnati, his overall record was 8-15. Since being with the Mets, 39-24, 15 games over 500.
Bobby Valentine the other day, if they make it to the playoffs, who would his top 2 starters be for the playoffs? And he dodged the question. So, well, we've got to get there first. The political answer. There's a long way to go, and I don't even want to think about that yet.
Well, in my opinion, one of them I would put out there for sure would be Al Leiter, just because of his past experience in pitching in some big ball games.
Orel Hershiser might be another because of that same reason.
Exactly right. And the other night he matched up Friday night very well against Kevin Brown. Excuse me, Thursday night against Kevin Brown in a 2-1 ball game.
Balls, 2 strikes to Petrick. Up the middle, Ordonez. And this infield defense of the Mets, George, it's being talked about as maybe the best in baseball history. I asked Cookie Rojas, their third base coach, that very question. And I said, is this infield the best defense in baseball? He said, without hesitation, yes. Is it the best all-time infield defense in baseball? Again, without hesitation, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty tough for me to believe. There's been some pretty good infields in baseball. One that comes to mind, it was the Dodgers infield of, say, Russell, Lopes, and Garvey. They were pretty good.
Well, one right now in Cleveland that's pretty good. And I think the best double play up the middle is in Cleveland right now with Omar Vizquel and Robbie Alomar. I don't know if you can find a better shortstop second base combination. Now, nothing to take away from Ordonez and Alfonso. Those guys are terrific. But Ventura, well, he's handled the job at third, and Rojas thinks that Ventura, Ordonez, and Alfonso should each win a Gold Glove.
Well, right now they all lead in their respective categories. Ventura, the #1 fielding third baseman in the National League. Ordonez, the #1 fielding shortstop in the National League. You know, it only took the Mets 114 third basemen to finally settle on one since 1962.
Ventura has been a terrific addition. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to John Thompson. I don't think the Mets would be in this position at all without Robin Ventura, and maybe that's why Mets fans are calling him their MVP. Ground ball. Alfonso stumbles a bit for halftime. That's one of the advantages at second base. On the Geico Direct moment, Don Baylor. again, a possibility of managing his old team, the team he won the MVP in 1979, being part of a community since '76. It's too much to be real. I think he is hoping to be called at the end of the season. Of course, they really can't talk to Don until Atlanta is through playing baseball. But I have a sneaking suspicion the Angels will talk to Baylor, and he will be their next manager. At least I hope so. I think it's a perfect fit. Perez. That'll drop for a hit. Two-out single for Nathan Perez.
Well, for Baylor, he played there. He lives there in the community. He's at spring training every year in that community in Palm Springs. It would be a great fit for Don Baylor. Now, whether people there think it would be a good fit, from what you read in the newspapers, Tavares, their general manager, has stated that it's a daycare center. It's like babysitting 25 guys every day to make sure they're all happy. So he may be looking for somebody to come in and be a drill sergeant. They had one in Terry Collins, a lot of discipline, and it didn't work.
Interesting to read the comments of Gary DiSarcina, George. He was saying that we weren't fair to our skipper, Terry Collins. So we didn't play hard enough for him. And that's not his fault. That's our fault as players.
Well, managers motivate players, and I believe that. They motivate you to go to the mound, go out on a field and play every day. They challenge your ability to go play.
How much of that is the manager, and how much of that is the manager and his staff?
I think it's the manager, period.
Do you?
I really believe that. I think if a manager comes and challenges you in a get-on way in the locker room and does it in front of people, not to embarrass you, but just to challenge you as a player. And I've played for managers that will pull you in the office and challenge you personally and say, I'm expecting this out of you, and you're not giving me that. Now, if you don't want to give me that, and I've had many managers in meetings, guys, if you don't want to be here and play hard and give me 100%, show up on time, do your job, stretch with everybody, do everything in batting practice, shag for everybody. If you don't want to do those things, just let us know. We'll get rid of it.
Usually in a situation like that, guys aren't willing to raise their hand. Shumpert with a fly ball to Cedeno to end the third. 3 in the books. 3-0 Mets. The order due up for New York in the 4th inning. Roger Cedeno, who has scored a run. He led off the second with a base hit.
All right, now I know everybody's sitting at home on the edge of their couch waiting to hear this, so I'll give it to you straight. Shooter. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Cincinnati beat Florida 7-4.
What else happened?
Well, Vaughn hit his 38th. Harris won his 9th. Grade's got his 23rd saves. Quit peeking. Sanchez was the loser. He's now 5-7. Cameron hit a home run too. That was his 19th. Take it away, Dave.
Well, the Reds are red hot, and then now they're within 2 of the Mets in the wild card. Perez up the middle. Cedeno.
Navy Perez showing his counterpart Ordonez. He's got a little bit of range too, and he can handle the speed. This ball off of the handle of Cedeno. Perez over behind second base, the off-balance throw to first base and getting the out. So many people think that there's an article in this morning's paper that Nafy took exception to, saying that he never moved on defense, played everybody the same. He was spoiled here as a Colorado Rocky. His numbers speak for themselves.
Well, and where he is positioned is up to the coaching staff.
Well, true and false. I mean, there's a lot of times, Dave, as a shortstop. A shortstop, you learn what hitters do what. But you also adjust yourself to the pitch being thrown by the pitcher. And it doesn't have anything to do with what, maybe a Leland may pull up and say, all right, guys, you got to pull hitter McGuire up, everybody shift over. Or Griffey's up, shift the other way. But right now, he's moving with what pitch is being called and the location of the pitch. If it's a fastball away, not very often, is he going to play to pull the baseball?
Right.
How about my buddy?
Hey,
my
Dinger's
buddy's
up
back.
here.
What's up, Dinger?
How are you doing, Dinger?
Dinger's doing good.
All right.
Pretty nice night tonight, huh, Dinger?
Ground ball, Perez. So Perez gets Ordonez. And speaking of shortstops, how about Derek Jeter and Omar Vizquel? Playoff preview, but perhaps Indians are in, Yankees are trying to get there. Baseball Thursday, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, right here on Fox Sportsnet Rocky Mountain.
Dinger, you're not going to sneak off over across the street, are you? You're going to hang right into, oh, yeah, that's right. He's watching baseball tonight. He has to.
That's what they mean by being here with all our rowdy friends.
Wow, do that one more time. That's pretty neat right there. I like that.
Easy inning for John Thompson. He's now mowed down 7 in a row. And we head to the bottom of the 4th, 3-0. Time in the 90s, which team had 2 20-game winners the same year? Which teams have had 2 20-game winners the same year? In the 90s. I assume that's the 1990s. Quite a few of those in the 1890s.
Yeah, but you only had 3 starters, too. Look at some of those records in the late 1800s, and guys are 46-8.
I know. They were making like 70 starts a year, 80. Sometimes they start 5-6 games in a row. Well, Rick Reed will go after Walker, Bichette, and Helton here in the 4th. We've given you long enough to think about the Quest trip.
Yeah, you had a minute and a half. That's it. Yeah, I'm going to say Texas Rangers. Were they one of them?
Atlanta's got to be one. Yep. And Oakland. Oh, yeah, forgot about 1990. That's, see how quickly we forget. Bob Welch and Dave Stewart.
Welch won 27 that year, didn't he? 27-3?
Yes. And in 93, Bill Swift, former Rocky pitcher, was one of the pair from the Giants. So 3 teams did it. Walker, a foul ball, out of play. Walker 0 for 1 in the ball game. And again, by our calculation, needs 10 at-bats. Or 10, I shouldn't say at-bats, but I should say 10 plate appearances, which is different than an at-bat. Officially on the baseball stats, an at-bat does not include a base on balls, an intentional pass, a sacrifice fly, or a sacrifice bunt. You add all those totals together, the at-bats and all those other categories, he now needs 10 more plate appearances to have 502, which is what you need to qualify for a batting title. Basically, he needs to play in 3 more ball games, and he'll have it. 2.5. Three balls, 1 strike here to Walker. If you saw it earlier on the pregame show, pretty interesting question. Swing and a miss on the question sent in by the fan. Let's say a guy has a 16-game hitting streak, and in the next game, he walks 4 times in 4 at-bats. Does his hitting streak continue? Walker with a fly ball to left, pretty well hit. Henderson going back. Looking up, gone. Walker, number 36. Amazing. Walker hasn't played in a couple of days and comes out and hits a home run. He makes this game look easy.
Well, the plate coverage is what counts. I mean, Reed makes a pretty good pitch. He's trying to get it up out of the strike zone to get Walker to hit a fly ball to left field. But he wants a fly ball to stay in the ballpark.
Rockies on the board. It's 3-1. Well, the answer to that question is the hitting streak would continue. If he walks 4 times, it would continue. Let's say he walked 3 times and had a sac bunt. It would also continue in that case. But let's say he walked 3 times and had a sacrifice fly. In that case, the hitting streak would end. Two strikes here to Bichette.
Remember what Bichette did in his last at bat. A line drive almost took Reed's head off. Hit right back up the middle.
Well, 2 strikes and now 3 straight balls to Bichette. Ball 4. Home run and a walk. Bichette goes down to first base. He's there for Todd Helton. Helton singled his first time up. Todd with a 5-game hitting streak. The way Helton's going, he's making a strong push to be player of the month in the National League in September.
And you want to know how much maybe it's benefited him moving up in the lineup. He's hit 6 most of his career now, hitting 5th ahead of Castilla, behind Dante Bichette. Really, his surge started when Leland put him in the number 2 hole.
Yes.
And he swung the bat very well there in some hit and runs, bunt situations. Something Helton has performed this year that he hasn't done in the past is he's gotten 4 bunt base hits.
Well, ultimately, what you'd like to have in a Rockies lineup would be another leadoff batter and move Perez to the number 2 spot.
Well, he's a good true number 2 guy. He hit and run, he can knock the ball on the ground, he can bunt. And he's not happy hitting leadoff, but because of the trade of Hamilton, it necessitated the fact that he needed to move to the leadoff.
Right. And the way the lineup is now, George, with Walker hitting 3rd, Bichette 4th, Helton 5th, Castilla 6th, you go left, right, left, right.
Well, plus in this ballpark, I mean, let's face it, the ball does fly out of the park. So you're going to want guys in the lineup. You need speed at the top of the lineup, but you need that speed defensively more than you do often.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Helton. Away. Now 5 straight games for Todd with 2 or more hits in each game.
Second time tonight that they tried to feed the ball away from him, and both times he's taken the ball to the opposite field.
So the Rockies with 2 aboard for Castilla. Castilla with a fly ball to right field his first time up. Rockies with a chance to get right back in this ball game. It's 3-1.
Walker, he takes the ball opposite field. Then Helton on a ball that he just drives through the left-hand side. Think of Helton's first at bat in the ball game, a line drive out to left field. Going with the pitches. That goes back, Dave, to what you talked about earlier in the year when he was hitting 260. And Helton, I think, was trying to hit a lot of balls out of the ballpark. He was trying to hit for power and drive in runs. And sacrificed his average. Now he's trying to take the ball to all fields, and the average has climbed.
Strike one to Castilla. Struggled in this situation this year. Last year, Walker did that. Walker had a terrible year with runners in scoring position last season. Well, this year, Walker turned that around. He's hit over 400 runners in scoring position this season. Rockies are hoping Castilla can have a similar turnaround next year. Now straight back.
When you see Castilla swing, when he does miss the ball, typically it's because the front shoulder opens a little bit and the head comes off the ball. It's not that total concentration of the head locked in on the impact of the ball to the bat.
Well, we understand the Broncos have gone in front of the Dolphins 7-0 on a Brian Greasy touchdown pass.
Bichette and Helton move up a bag. And now with a base hit, the Rockies tie things up.
Berry hit the last pitch right back up the middle and hit it with some authority, but Ordonez was cheating back up the middle. Much like he is right now, he has backed himself over towards the second base bag with the hole on the left-hand side.
It really is cheating, isn't it? Alfonso, the second baseman, playing way over in the hole. That's where the ball goes. Olerud only played first base. Bichette scores on the roller, and it's 3-2.
Two things happen here with Berry at the plate. What Reed's trying to do is throw a ball away. See how far outside Piazza is setting up. For Berry, he's trying to pull that ball or take it to the opposite field. Now, for Berry, it was easier to pull with the runner at third, the infield back, and then he got to run across. But with that big a hole out at shortstop, to me, defensively, you're not setting yourself up properly unless Berry's just played as a dead full hitter, no matter where the pitch is thrown. Now, Berry is a hitter. If you recognize that you have your shortstop pulled over towards the second base closer, then you throw a fastball away. Just go with the pitch out into left field, too. It leaves a big hole and an easy opportunity for a hitter.
Here's Ben Petrick with Helton down at third and 2 out. 2 strikes on Petrick, who rolled out to Ordonez his first time up.
rookie coming through in a big way against the ball club in pennant contention. The ball hit right back up the middle. Petrick had not been hitting very well. His average was down to 227 when he entered this ball game.
His 7th game in a Rockies uniform, and he has 5 runs back in. Strike 1 to Thompson. Not only that, Petrick gets the pitcher up and out of the way here in the 4th.
Jim Leyland's showing a lot of confidence in Petrick, starting him in this situation versus maybe Manwaring or Blanco. Typically, managers will not start a lot of kids or call-ups from AAA when they're playing a ball club that's in contention for the playoffs. Petrick caught a ball game, Jamie Wright's ball game, Friday night in New York.
Wright was terrific in that start. Well, Thompson waves it there, but the Rockies get 3 to tie it. Walker's home run to lead things off. Petrick kept it with the RBI single. We head to the 5th, tied at 3. Rockies have tied things up 3-3. This day in Rockies history is brought to you by Dodge. And for the Rockies on this day in '96, Rockies won their 6th straight, beating Houston. Rockies went on to win 8 in a row. Rockies really have played very good baseball in the month of September throughout their existence. Rockies right now have won 3 of their last 4, and John Thompson has set down 7 in a row.
Yeah, after the first couple of innings, Thompson has really settled down, started getting ahead of the hitters with all pitches and then finishing them off. I think that's the key to Thompson. A lot of ground balls in the infield. Of those 7 you talked about retiring, 6 of the 7 have been by the way of a ground ball. Yeah, one of those, a fly ball, hit the shortstop. Crucial inning, though. You're in the 5th inning now, and you saw your ball club come back and tie this ball game. You need to have another 1, 2, 3 inning, but it won't be as easy as it was back in the 4th. You go back and face the top of the order of Henderson, Alfonso, and Olerud.
Yes, you do. We invite you to visit the official website of the Rockies at www.coloradorockies.com. You can learn about Rocky players, take a virtual tour of Coors Field, play interactive games, up-to-the-minute press releases. Join the excitement of Rockies baseball on www.coloradorockies.com. Ground ball by Henderson. Perez.
One out and a big out for Thompson and the Rockies. You know what's really scary if you're an opposing pitcher and you're facing the Mets is when you get to this area. Alfonso second in the lineup with 25 home runs, Olerud with 16. Then you have Piazza with 35, Ventura with 30. The power stacked 2 through 5.
Down and in to Alfonso, who has been pesky tonight. 2 hits, runs scored, and 2 runs batted in. 102 ribbies now for Alfonso. Happy days for this Fonzie. Alfonso reaches base for the 3rd straight time, and now John Olerud.
The last walk Thompson had in the ballgame was to Henderson in the 2nd inning. He came around to score after some base hits by Alfonso. Thompson with a 1-out walk. You're right in the heart of the order of Olerud and Piazza. Piazza has hurt Thompson back in the 1st inning with a base hit that drove in a run. His 113th. the night, has walked, grounded out to Todd Helton. Alfonso has 7 stolen bases. He's at first base. Olerud's average on the year, 302.
1 year ago, 342. Still a very good year for Olerud, especially when you look at his on-base percentage.
Comes through with a big strikeout here, the second out in the inning. More look at the strikeout pitch from Thompson to Olerud. Fastball tailing away out of the strike zone. A good pitch by Thompson. You know, 40-point difference. Remember last year, the last 3 weeks of the season, you checked on McGuire, Sosa, and you checked on Olerud and Walker in the batting race.
I'd like to know, though, what his on-base percentage was, because a lot of times we focus so much on the average. The on-base percentage, 436 for Olerud this year. Well, Piazza, everybody knows how dangerous this guy can be. He still has the longest home run on record here at Coors Field, 496 feet. He was swinging for the fences there.
Combination working. Thompson and Petrie can out-thinking the hitters of the Mets. See if they can make the right pitch now. That was a slider that Thompson, typical slider, 84 to 86 miles an hour. That last pitch, 81 miles an hour. Coming hard in with something.
Popped up down the line. Walker loping after it. So the walk does no damage to John Thompson. He works around that. We're halfway through, tied at 3. Report on the Avalanche interviews. The Broncos locker room, live coverage of Mike Shanahan's press conference. Brand new show, the Rocky Mountain Sports Report, hosted by Drew Goodman. Wednesday, noon Mountain and 1 Central. Top of the order, 2 up for the Rockies in the 5th inning. Perez, Shumpert, and Walker. Up Olerud's on-base percentage from last year?
Well, it's 434, and right now it stands 436. His batting average last year, 354, is what it ended the season with. Right now he's batting 302.
Remember, it was Walker battling Olerud for the batting title last year.
As good a hitter as Olerud is in baseball, there's only been one time that he's gotten 200 hits in his career. That was in '93 when he led the American League with a 363 average. Last year, he had 197 hits.
Perez with the base hit his last time up. 2 more with the Mets, then the Dodgers come to town over the weekend. Up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Perez.
That was the pitch that Reed wanted. He backed Perez off the plate with a fastball. Thought he caught the inside half.
Perez to left. Henderson. 1 out. So now Terry Shumpert. Shumpert 0 for 2 tonight. different in last night's game. 3 for 5, 2 homers, 4 ribbies. He tied 3 single-game bests for himself. The 2 home runs, the 3 hits, and the 4 RBIs, all tying personal highs in his career. And the second home run gave him 9 for the year, which is a personal best for a season.
He's just 7 shy of his personal best in a season in RBIs, 34. The year he had 8 home runs for the Kansas City Royals.
And he's playing still a part-time role, even though he's played a lot. It's still a part-time role.
Few of the starts that he has gotten, other than just second base, has been at shortstop, third base, left field, and has played in center field. He was labeled a second baseman or middle infielder when he came to the big leagues.
Reed up to 78 pitches.
I mentioned earlier that there's not a pitch counter or pitch limit on Reed. He threw over 100 pitches in his last start against San Francisco in 4 innings.
Jam shot into shallow right field. Cedeno coming in. That's the second out here in the 5th inning. So a 2-out, nobody on. Larry Walker.
Yeah, this is where it all started. The Rockies tied the ball game 3-3, and that was on Walker's 36th home run. That all happened back in the 4th inning.
The Walker home run. Dante Bichette followed with a base on balls. A single by Helton. They advanced to second and third, and a bounce out by Castilla. Berry Berry got a run home with a ground ball to first. Petrick singled home a run. Capped the 3-run fourth. For Walker, it was his 36th home run and 109th run batted in.
Now it's the second home run Walker has hit against Reed in his career. He was 2 for 10 prior to this ball game.
Broken bat blooper, and that's going to drop for a hit. That, as much as anything, could be described as a Coors Field hit. The reason I say that is the outfield deeper here, and that one somewhere else might not have dropped in. But the second hit for Walker on the night, his average will go up. Remember, the highest batting average in Rockies history was Galarraga in '93 when he hit .370. So Walker has that to shoot for as well. To Bichette. Dante walked and scored in the 4th, singled in the 2nd. Another foul ball out of play. Walker's knee condition is going anywhere. He will have surgery at the end of the season, not sooner. Right now the plan is for October. High pop up to right field. Cedeno camping under it. And that'll do it. Rockies get a single from Walker, but can't do any damage to the scoreboard, and we head to the 6th, still knotted at 3. First 2 frames, as really settled in since, allowing just a walk since the second inning. Well, only 6 road games remaining for the Rockies. Brought to you by La Quinta. 3 in Florida and 3 in Arizona. And George, you were saying that hurricane coming in on Florida, that those 3 games may be moved. We'll see.
Yeah, you have to wait and see how the weather. I mean, right now they'd love to play the games there, but it doesn't look that way. I mean, that hurricane is heading straight at Miami.
Yeah, let's hope they're all right. 1 ball, no strikes to Robin Ventura. Ventura with a fly ball to center field. Barry drifting over. 1 out. What a job by Thompson since the second.
Looking back on what he's been able to accomplish, of the 22 hitters, now 23 hitters in the ballgame with Ventura, he's been ahead of 16 of those. He's only had 4 3-ball counts on the night. He's walked 3 in the ballgame. So he's doing one thing that Jim Leland wanted to see out of himself and out of Jamie Wright, is get ahead of the hitters and throw strikes.
He's now set down 11 of the last 12. And a man to reach. Alfonso with a walk in the 5th inning. Strike 1 to Hamilton, who is 0 for 2 in his return to Coors Field. He's in a hole 0-2. Come on out next Monday when the Diamondbacks are in town. First 25,000 fans for the game will receive the final lapel pin of the '99 season, courtesy of King Soopers. Houston leading Philadelphia 4-1 in the 10th. The Astros have won 10 in a row. Arizona, by the way, at home. They're hosting Pittsburgh. Right down the line. That's a fair ball. Helton says he'll take it to the bag himself, and he wins the race. St. Louis. It's the Brewers by 2. No home runs for McGuire. It's 0 for 1 to the walk. 2 outs here, and here's Roger Cedeno. Cedeno, a switch hitter, although he's one of those guys that might think about batting only left-handed, hitting .330 from this side, only a .194 from the right side. And really, he doesn't get many opportunities anymore. Bobby Valentine platooning Cedeno and Agbayani in right field.
He's only got 62 at-bats from the right side all year, compared to 342 from the left side.
And the Mets treating him with kid gloves. He was a center fielder in L.A., and they moved him over to right, saying it took a little pressure off of him. Ooh, just missed. He's retired the Mets in order in 3 of the last 4 innings and has set down 13 of the last 14 Met ball players. He's pitching a gem now. If you take out the first 2 innings, only 1 walk surrendered since the second.
Well, even in the first inning, he gave up a hit, a walk, and then another base hit, but struck out 2 in that inning. The walk came back to haunt him in the second.
And both walks really have cost him. 2 of the 3 walks, I should say. Helton in front of that one. Rips it foul. Helton 2 for 2 in this ball game. His average up to .320. Give Helton some more time, he might challenge Walker for the batting crown. Another hit for Helton. And this one for extra bases. Helton with a double. 72 extra base hits now to lead the club. He's 6th in the National League in that department.
How about this? Coming into the ball game against Reed, he was only hitting .200. Now he's 5 for 13 against Reed. Lifetime. look at his swing. Goes down and gets a breaking ball. That ball below his knees and just jerks it down into the right field corner for a double. Now the Rockies need to capitalize on this and repay the favor to John Thompson. The way he's pitched in the ball game, he deserves to get a win out of this game.
He sure does. Only one win for Thompson all year. Castilla looks at strike one, an 88-mile-per-hour fastball.
Works in funny ways. Helton 2 for 10. Now all of a sudden 3 for 3 against Reed. Castilla, he was 6 for 12 with a home run against Reed. So far in the ball game, Castilla has grounded out to third and flied out to right.
I think Castilla really needs to concentrate on trying to hit the ball the opposite way. I think he has more power sometimes the opposite way anyway.
He's got power to all fields, but by hitting the ball to the opposite field, it makes you keep that front shoulder closed that much longer.
Plus, he'll have an opportunity to get Helton over to third. Reed trying to prevent it by coming inside. Misses inside, it's 2-2.
See, with different hitters, you look at it from different ways. Right now with Castilla, he's a power guy, the guy that's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark or drive in runs. His thinking right now is, I want a base hit. Even though there's no outs, he's trying to drive Helton in from second base.
Foul tip and held by Piazza. So Castilla strikes out. That's the second one for Reed. Now Barry, who got a run home with a ground ball his last time up.
I'm anxious to see if Ordonez cheats on him and back up. It's not even going to happen. They're going to go ahead and walk Barry and set up the double play with Petrie coming up. Bobby Valentine relying on the scouting reports of his minor league people and scouts that have watched the Rockies in recent days about Ben Petrie. He's hoping for the double play ball.
Petrie with an RBI single his last time up. So Barry with the intentional pass goes down to first. Let's see if Petrie can come through again. Petrie got the tying run home in the fourth inning. Almost to 100 pitches now.
Well, in the New York Mets bullpen right now, Turk Wendell warming up, Castle Rock resident. He's throwing down in the bullpen. There's only been 3 complete ball games all year for Bobby Valentine.
Base hit, Petrie comes through again. Here comes Helton. They're waving him home. The Rockies have the lead, and Petrie has given it to him. So they walk Barry to get to Petrie, and Ben spoils their plan. Helton scores the go-ahead run. 4 unanswered runs by the Rockies.
6 RBIs on the year, the second tonight for Petrie. This line drive right back up the middle. Helton off with the pitch. He'll come around to score. He's home by Rich Donnelly. Barry ends up at second base. 1 out in the inning. John Thompson coming to the plate. Thompson on the year hitting .250. He's grounded out to second and struck out. Sacrifice situation here.
Popped up, Piazza. Out number 2.
Those are little things in baseball that managers put big stars beside. The reason why is just a fundamental of the game that all it does is help you. And if you look around and see successful pitchers that pitch a lot in innings, there's a reason. Because when they get into late into the ball game, 6th, 7th inning, they stay around in the ball game because they're able to handle the bat.
Perez 1 for 3 tonight. Have come back with 3 in the 4th and another here in the 6th. Petrick tied the game with a single in the 4th. Gave the Rockies the lead with a single here in the 6th inning. The Rockies have out hit the Mets 9-4. Good speed on the base pass. Not great speed, but good speed in Berry and Petrick. Petrick runs very well. Now, whether that will continue as he gets up in years as a catcher, who knows? But right now, Ben Petrick runs very, very well. Arizona's jumped in front of Pittsburgh 1-0. The Diamondbacks have already won 3 in a row. San Francisco idle tonight. Bouncing ball, Olerud. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that'll do it. But the Rockies get a run, cashing in the lead double by Helton when Petrick hits him home with a base hit. As we head to the 7th, 4-3 Colorado. 3 now. Ben Petrick coming of age. 2 singles and 2 runs batted in. Helton has 3 hits in the ball game. Rockies have out hit the Mets 9-4. Petrick has 2 of those. The subplot to the story is John Thompson, who has now retired 13 of the last 14 Mets. The only Met to reach base, Edgardo Alfonzo, a walk in the 5th inning. The last hit for the Mets in the 2nd. Alfonzo with a 2-run single. Ray Ordonez in our player profile, brought to you by AutoZone, probably will win his 3rd straight Gold Glove. And he defected from the Cuban national team in '93. A line drive, buried. Ordonez, dad and brother also escaped Cuba, and they came over on a raft. Well, Ordonez out number 1 here in the 7th inning. And now pinch hitting for Rick Reed will be Bobby Bonilla.
He's not getting the same reception here at Coors Field as he did at Shea Stadium.
No. He didn't get much of a reception at Dodger Stadium either. Bonilla, there's talk that he might be left off the playoff roster for the Mets.
I know this much. If Bobby Bonilla was available, healthy, and able to swing the bat, I would want his experience coming off the bench in a crucial situation.
How about this situation? Bonilla, deep fly, right field. It's off the scoreboard. Walker trying to get it back in. Here comes the play at second. Bonilla in with a double. Bonilla just missed a home run, and he winds up at second with a double. Walker made that a closer play than it should have been.
Well, the reason for that, Bonilla thinks this ball out of the ballpark. You watch, he's standing at home plate watching to see if it's going to be fair or foul. Then the jog starts up the line. He thought that ball was out of the ballpark. The throw comes into second base. Look at it again. We'll try to follow and track Bonilla. Once he realizes the ball did not get out of the ballpark, then he turns it up and ends up at second base ahead of the throw of Walker.
Well, a pinch runner at second base for the Mets. Jay Payton is now pinch running for Bobby Bonilla. Swing and a miss by Ricky Henderson. So the tying run at second base. Bonilla's double, the first hit for the Mets since the second inning. Bonilla comes through with a pinch hit double. Strike to Henderson. Activity now in the Rockies bullpen. Jerry DePoto getting loose along with Rigo Beltran. Two and one now to Henderson.
Thompson's handled Henderson tonight pretty well with a strikeout in the first inning. He walked him in the second and had a ground ball to shortstop back in the fifth inning.
Hit well to right. Walker looking up, and this one's gone. Henderson with a two-run homer, and the Mets have retaken the lead. Henderson, his 11th home run of the year.
Now, two veterans performed well here, Henderson and Bonilla. Two guys that have been in this position before. Henderson in 3 World Series. Takes this fastball from John Thompson. Right field, and he knew it was gone, and so did Larry Walker. He just could only turn and look and be a fan of that flight of the ball out of the ballpark.
So the double and home run coming after Thompson had set down 14 of 15 Mets. And now here's the man that he hasn't gotten yet, Edgardo Alfonzo, who has 2 singles and a walk. Nearing 100 pitches. Doesn't look as crisp as he did even in this inning to Ordonez. 3-0 here to Alfonzo.
Chasing Atlanta. They come back and take the lead. 2.5-game lead in the wild card.
Alfonzo with his second walk. Thompson has now walked 4, and Jim Leyland is walking to the mound. And that'll do it for John Thompson. Well, he pitched great from the 3rd through the 6th inning. Wheels kind of coming off here in the 7th. He leaves with the Rockies trailing. Beltran's going to come on to face Olerud. We'll be back in a moment. Well, in the Dodge pitching change, Rigo Beltran. He comes in relief of John Thompson with a runner aboard.
Well, he'll be here to face John Olerud, left-handed hitting Olerud. You see the numbers for Beltran. That is a combined Rockies numbers along with his numbers with the Mets. 1-1 with a .438 earned run average. Beltran has been used sparingly. This is probably where he performs better than anyone else in this situation, is getting a left-handed hitter.
And he might be asked to do just that. DePoto still warming in the bullpen. Might see Jerry to face Piazza unless Olerud hits into a double play here.
Olerud on the year hitting .252 against left-handers. And Beltran, what's he doing against left-handed hitters? They're hitting .355.
Strike one to John Olerud, who is 0 for 2 in this ball game. Olerud struck out his last time up, 1 of 3 for John Thompson. The book's still open on JT. 6 in the 3rd inning, 6 hits, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. He has given up 5 runs so far, all earned, and he is still responsible for Alfonso at first. To Olerud. Well, Beltran doesn't do what he was asked to do, and that was to get Olerud. So back-to-back walks and another walk for Leland to the mound, and he is going to get the photo and bring him in. So Rigo Beltran, who was asked to get Olerud, doesn't do the job. Now DePoto will inherit 2 base runners. He's been good in this situation. We'll see if he can be good against Piazza. Terrific with inherited runners. I wonder if he'll do it again. Tomorrow on Fox Sports Net, Rocky Mountain. Fox Sports News tonight at 5. Our coverage begins at 5:30. The last word at 9. Fox Sports News prime time will follow at 10. Fox Sportsnet Rocky Mountain, place for great sports viewing. Will he do it again? Keep the trend going.
Well, he's retired. It came in with 30 men on base. 26 of those have not scored. That leads the National League 87% of the time. It's DePoto's 58th ball game.
Trying to keep it a 1-run ball game here. The Mets leading 5-4. Game was sailing along until this half inning. The skids here with a double by Bonilla and a home run by Henderson, then back-to-back walks, Alfonso and Olerud. I mentioned 2 pitching changes. So DePoto ready to go now to keep the streak alive. DePoto to face a tough customer in Mike Piazza.
Piazza against DePoto, 3 for 10 lifetime. No home runs.
Piazza an RBI single. In the first, he's 1 for 3. Bouncing ball. Is it hit hard enough to turn 2? No, in fact, they only played first base. Alfonso moves to third. Olerud to second. And DePoto is retired 1. Now he has to face Robin Ventura. Ventura so far in this ball game is 0 for 3. They're going to walk him and rather go after Darrell Hamilton.
Leland, Jim's trying to play the percentages here with Ventura with 30 home runs and 112 RBIs. You go that against Hamilton with 8 home runs and 39 RBIs. But remember, too, Darrell Hamilton, his last time he came to the plate against the Rockies with the bases loaded, he hit a grand slam. Don't remember that for very long.
forgot about that. Really. Well, the Mets, you know, are in the race with Atlanta. The Rockies, already an X beside their name, the Chief Division standings. Arizona, in the second inning, leading Pittsburgh 1-0. Just starting in San Diego, and also just underway from Dodger Stadium. San Francisco, 8 back starting tonight. X's by the Padres, the Dodgers, and the Rockies. A little flare down the line. Bichette a long way to go, but he'll get there. Dante Bichette makes the grab and leaves him loaded. Now for a look at what's ahead on Fox Sports News after the game, let's go to the Fox Network Center. Two-run homer, and the Rockies have to start over again. Trailing now by 1, 5-4, as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. New pitcher for the Mets, Pat Mahomes, comes out of their bullpen.
And how effective has he been? 7-0 with a .336 earned run average. This is his 32nd ball game. Came over to the Mets from the Twins organization, where he was used strictly as a starting pitcher. Possesses a very good fastball, throws strikes, and a good slider to go along with it.
Well, good job by Jerry DiPoto again, as he strands 2 more inherited runners and 3 overall in that inning. Getting Hamilton to hit the fly ball to left field. The Mets leave them loaded. They do have the lead, 5-4. Shumpert leading off. He'll be followed by Walker and Bichette. Shumpert, deep left field. We are tied. Wow! Terry Shumpert, his 3rd home run in the last 2 games, his 10th of the year.
The 7th home run in 56 innings off of Mahomes. Fastball, a straight fastball, 4-seam fastball right in the heart of the plate. Shump put on a show. 3 home runs in less than 24 hours.
Walker didn't go. Boy, reason to smile. Terry Shumpert. Walker. That one's going to be at least a base hit. Hamilton cuts it off. Walker heading for second. Here comes a throw. Safe! Hamilton did everything he could, even an accurate throw. But Walker with a double.
If Alfonso's awake, Walker's out. He makes the turn here on the ball when Hamilton has to stop and set his feet. Yeah, Alfonso waiting on the tag, then reaches back. Chance taken by Walker, but he gets into scoring position with nobody out. And Bichette coming to the plate. Alfonso had no idea Walker was coming.
Should have sensed it just from the crowd reaction. And now, here comes Dave Wallace. He wants to talk things over. He does. We'll remind you the Rocky Wives will be selling the Rockies family calendar to benefit the Leukemia Society at Coors Field. You can also purchase them by calling 303-295-7373. So a pitching change. Turk Wendell, the Castle Rock resident, comes in to face Dante Bichette. Second, nobody out. Turk Wendell has come on to face Dante Bichette. Bichette tonight, 1 for 2. Line drive caught by Alfonso. Walker read it well, got back to the bag, no problem there.
Yeah, how many times have we seen runners for the Rockies freeze in their base pass, thinking, waiting to see if the ball would get through? Walker fundamentally sound there. As soon as the ball was hit, he just throws on the line, headed back. Nowhere to go. Why try to go? If it gets over the head of Alfonso, he scores anyway.
Now Helton. Helton with 3 hits tonight, and I think that's what Piazza's going to go out and talk to Wendell. You want to pitch to this guy or pitch around him?
Well, they got to get on the same wavelength. Because now, as a catcher, you're going to make sure you call somebody. And it depends on who you have on the mound. If you go out and you tell Turk Wendell, I want to pitch around this guy, he'll pitch around him because he knows how. You go out and tell a young pitcher, let's pitch around him, he may make a mistake and hang something up in the strike zone. That ball gets hit out of the ballpark.
In that case, better just to walk him.
You got a young pitcher on the mound, that's why you see so much of it.
Now they're going to walk Todd Helton. And they're going to go after Vinny Castilla instead. Well, if you're Castilla now, you have to look at this as a challenge. They just challenged you.
The bigger challenge for Wendell. He's 6 for 12 with 2 home runs against Wendell.
How about that? So Helton with the free pass. Puts runners at first and second with 1 out. Now Castilla, who was 0 for 3 in this ball game. Remember, it was Vinny's home run in the 8th inning last night. Gave the Rockies a lead. 3, but it did give them a lead. That'll fool everybody.
The guy behind home plate, Kerwin Danley, had called timeout at the plate for Mike Piazza to put the strap back on. Wendell looking back, and Alfonso sneaks back over. Quick snap throw, a turn and a throw back, and the tag. Call him out, and they look back. Oh, there was time called.
Steal the pop-up, foul territory, but room for Piazza. 4 tonight. So it'll be up to Jeff Berry. 2 aboard, 2 out in the 7th. The Rockies the lead. Berry walked his last time up. In fact, walked intentionally. Castilla, you can tell his frustration this year. And Cleveland pounded Boston tonight 11-7. That stops the win streak for the Red Sox at 3. York also lost, though. Toronto beat them 2-1. The Yankees lead over the Red Sox remains 3.5. And Oakland won, so Oakland pulls it within 2 in the wild card chase. Oakland beat Tampa Bay 8-3. Ball 1 to Berry. Velarde hit his 14th home run for the A's. Giambi at 31st. Signs, the third baseman for the A's, hit his 11th. And Apier goes 8 strong innings in the win. Apier's been a good pickup by Oakland. Did he go? Oh, 2-0. Cleveland won that ball game with a 5-run 5th inning, winning 11-7. Nagy is 16th win. Lofton, Sexton, and Baines all homers for Cleveland. Berry into center field, but playable for Hamilton. And that'll do it. Rockies strand to, but get a run. Terry Shumpert with a lead home run to tie it at 5 as we go to the 8th. Run in the 7th inning to tie it at 5. Tonight, after the game, Jim Rome tells it like it is on the Nightline of sports talk shows. Rome interviews the biggest names in sports and asks the questions people want to hear. That's the last word with Jim Rome tonight, right after the game.
An average move to the plate because of his stretch position. See if Cedeno tries to go here in the first 1 or 2 pitches. He tried it in his first at bat. The ball was hit, so he didn't get a stolen base, but he got a big jump on John Thompson.
As a base stealer, what's preferred? Do they like the batter to swing, or would they rather them just go ahead and take the pitch and let him steal the bag?
Well, a lot of the good base stealers have signs with the hitter. If I touch the light right here, flap left here, flap left.
It's him on.
How many kickoffs has Dipoto had? That's the first I've seen in a year and a half. A good move by Jerry Dipoto. You don't have to worry about him stealing bases anymore. A good tag by Todd Helton. Look at his feet. Now watch Cedeno's feet. He's got him leaning to second. Then the slap tag by Helton at first base, and that gets the out.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when he took the lead, he takes that lead with a big stride.
Well, he's trying to get that last step out. And as a pitcher, you look for momentum. And his momentum was going to second base. The snap throw to first. That changes the whole inning around for Dipoto.
Yeah, it does. Now 1 out, nobody on, and strike 1 to Ray Ordonez, a light-hitting shortstop for the Mets. Ordonez with 52 runs batted in. That's a career high for him. You want to compare him with Perez. Napie has 62, 10 more. And Napie's average is 30 points higher than Ray Ordonez.
And 11 home runs.
Yeah.
Ordonez does not have a home run. The other side of that, if there's very little, but the speed factor. Ordonez has 7 stolen bases. Perez on the year with 12. It leads the Rockies. It's kind of tough, isn't it? Cedeno leads the Mets with 63. Perez with 12 leads the Rockies.
Dipoto with 2 out, nobody on. They're going to go ahead and let Turk Wendell bat for himself. What's on tap for us? Brought to you by Budweiser. We'll broadcast tomorrow's game with the Mets right here on Fox Sports Net, Rocky Mountain. And then no TV Wednesday, day off for the ball club. Thursday, the Dodgers come to town, and we'll have Friday, Sunday action on Denver's WB2. Then the Diamondbacks come in for a trio of games. We'll have the first 2 right here. Wendell on the year, 6 at-bats. He's still hitless.
Now that at-bat that we were watching with Cal Ripken, he walked. Still 18 hits shy of 3,000.
If he gets there, it'd be the first time in baseball history that 3 players in the same year got their 3,000th hit. Wade Boggs and Tony Gwynn did it earlier this year. Smith, 3-2 pitcher.
Brooks only had 6 at-bats this year. Has not gotten a base hit anywhere. Not unusual for relief pitchers.
I knew Turk Wendell was left-handed at heart. He's a right-handed pitcher, but he bats left-handed. Jacket. Ricky Henderson will bat now. Henderson, a 2-run homer his last time up. It was interesting talking with the skipper for the pregame show tonight, getting his views on his impending retirement. He said it best when he said, I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I want them to be happy for me. I'm happy with my decision and comfortable with it. And I have not second-guessed myself one time. 1-0 to Henderson.
Well, all the things that players miss the most, he mentioned inside of that interview, that's what he wanted to continue to do. I'd like to come to spring training. Players love to go to spring training. Golf every day at 1 o'clock. It's fun. You get your work in, you go play golf. And you enjoy being around because that's when you see a lot of scouts. It's more relaxed. It's a lot of baseball people going out at night discussing baseball. And that's fun for managers. You say you'd like to scout. I'd like to go into big league ballparks to scout people in the Pittsburgh area. And if it meant going to New York, a little bit of travel, that's okay. Right? Now you just got to find somebody who wants somebody to do that. Could be the Rockies, that's one ball club, if not, someone else.
Somewhere, it's 2-1. Pittsburgh is tied it in Arizona, 1-1 in the 4th. The pitcher, Turk Wendell, and now falls behind Ricky Henderson, 3-1.
With DePoto on the year, he's just walked 39 batters in 77 and a third innings.
Position for a man the Rockies have not retired yet tonight, Edgardo Alfonzo. Alfonzo with 2 singles and 2 bases on balls.
Now the one baseball sin that DePoto committed was the walk to the pitcher with 2 outs in the ballgame.
Double day
I just know it sure makes your manager pretty mad when there's 2 outs in the ball game and you walk the guy.
Now Milt May is going to come out to the mound to try to settle down Jerry DePoto.
Yeah, I see DePoto. I mean, he bent over, trying to get his thoughts together before May comes back out. Maybe they're checking. Remember, DePoto's back. Not saying that's what's happened here, but it's unusual to see Jerry bend over on a mound and he's trying to stretch something. It's very unusual for DePoto to walk 2 guys in a row.
It is. Cool night again here in Denver. We're all speculating, of course. But just seeing him stretch like that, you have to at least think back to that back injury. Says he's okay and ready to go. 1-0 the count to Alfonso. Dejan Ramirez are warming in the pen. Play 1-2 now to Edgardo Alfonso. DePoto shaking his head, but he survives the 8th. The pickoff of Cedeno, a big part of the inning. We remain tied at 5. Rocky Mountain is brought to you by your Front Range Jeep dealers. By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. It buds for you. And by AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. There we go to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 5-5 ball game here at Coors Field. Ben Petrie, he's been one of the heroes for the Rockies tonight. 2 singles. Both of them have brought home a run. Petrie pops this one up. Down the line, Ventura goes over. So does Ordonez, but it's Robin Ventura to make the grab in foul territory. So Petrie gone. And now a pinch hitter, J.R. Phillips. Remember, he had the big home run on Saturday in the 8th inning to give the Rockies a win. J.R. Phillips will bat here for Jerry DePoto.
Phillips' first trip to the big leagues, 7 strikeouts and 8 at bats. Since his recall from AAA, he's hit a home run to win a ball game, and he had a double last night.
So he was 0 for his first 7, and now 2 for his last 2. No ball. 2 gone here in the 8th. Earlier on the pregame show, we answered a Merrill Lynch email question. If you have a baseball-related question, email us. This address, with your name and hometown. If we use your question on the show, you'll receive a free personal financial plan from Merrill Lynch Financial Foundation. Now Navy Perez. Perez 1 for 4 in this ball game. Rockies trainer out to have a look. Looks like it went right off the foot, George.
Well, most of the umpires wear steel-toed shoes so that would protect the end of the toe, but doesn't do anything up on top of the foot. And it's square right where the shin guard goes down, and he grabs the hold of the catcher. That's pretty solid.
Got to reach back to try to keep Danley up. Then he stood up and then went down again. Danley still trying to catch his breath. We're going to step aside. Wait, he's going to get up. I don't know if he's going to stay in this game or not. He's going to step aside, but Danley saying he can step. Just trying to get the feeling back in that foot. Well, there's really no better way to describe it than to say, if you want to know what it feels like, just take a hammer and slam it on top of your foot. The ball's coming in at 90 miles an hour and deflected right on top of the foot. Now 2 strikes on Perez and 1 on Danley. Distance anyway, but
it was close enough.
It was close.
I was rooting a little behind the scenes. Let's look and see where this ball landed. Foul territory. Hit up against the wall. They wouldn't have had the distance. All right, Turk, see if you can throw another heater inside half about belt high. Nope, going away.
Perez goes away and dumps a single to left. Well, that gets Shumpert to the plate. And all Shumpert has done is hit 3 home runs in the last 2 games. Shumpert greeted Pat Mahomes rather rudely with that home run in the 7th. Let's keep an eye too on Perez to see if he tries to steal a bag here and push that go-ahead run down to second base.
Shumpert in his career has never faced Turk Wendell, and I'll guarantee you Bobby Valentine would not want to see Larry Walker come up next to face Wendell, because Walker's number's 5 for 11, 455 average.
Walker tonight a triple shy of the cycle. There goes Perez. Throw from Piazza's way too high. Ordonez tried an acrobatic tag, but Perez in with a stolen base. The throw from Piazza, not a good one.
His 13th stolen base on the year for Nafi Perez. Piazza, he got a good pitch to throw down to second base, but to throw high and out of the reach of Ordonez, and when he finally catches up to the ball, there's no way he can put a tag on Nafi Perez.
So now a single could give the Rockies the lead. Shumpert's home run tied the score at 5 in the 7th. Can give him the lead right here. Strike. 2 strikes now on Shumpert. On it. Now the Rockies trying the go-ahead run in scoring position. We head to the 9th, tied at 5. Sportsnet, Rocky Mountain. It's Fox Sports News prime time. The Brian Greasy debut with the Broncos. How's that going to work out? A race for 70 between Sosa and McGuire, and pennant race fever in many cities. Coming up at 10 tonight on Fox Sports News prime time. Well, Dave Veers getting back up on the bike after falling down last night.
Hey, you got to have a short memory, and obviously Jim Leland has one. He brings him right back into the ball game, as he should. Veers on the year with 29 saves. Can't save this ball game, obviously. Tied 5-5, but Jim Leland bringing in his closer to try to hold it and see if they can get the win.
The Rockies have the heart of their order coming up in the bottom of the 9th, and Walker, Bichette, and Helton. So Dave Veers trying to keep it tied 5-5, and he's got to face the heart of the Mets order: Olerud, Piazza, and Ventura. And meanwhile, we're going to have a change behind the plate. Showed you earlier, Kerwin Danley getting hit on top of the foot, foul ball, and Danley is not going to be able to continue tonight. Hope for the best for Kerwin Danley, and now one of the other umpires is putting on the home plate gear. probably be Tony Randazzo, who was the first base umpire. We'll see.
Ed Montague, he was at third base. Wally Bell was at second.
So we have a little delay as we're going to have a new home plate umpire, and this crew will work with 3. Dave Beers will have a chance to get in a few more warm-up tosses in a 5-5 ball game going to the 9th. The Mets got 1 in the first, 2 more in the second. A 2-run single by Alfonso. Rockies got 3 in the 4th. Walker led off that inning with a home run. Petrick tied it with a single. Then in the 6th, Petrick gave the Rockies a 4-3 lead with a base hit. A 2-run homer by Ricky Henderson in the 7th for the Mets made it 5-4. But in the bottom of the 7th, Terry Shumpert with a solo home run. So here we are, tied at 5, waiting for an umpire in the 9th inning. Brand new show coming up on Fox Sports Net, Rocky Mountain. It's the Rocky Mountain Sports Report. Drew Goodman is your host. I have interviews from the Broncos locker room, live coverage of Mike Shanahan's press conference, report on the Avalanche, the Nuggets. All that coming up all this winter on the Rocky Mountain Sports Report. It'll be every Wednesday at noon Mountain, 1 o'clock Central.
I didn't get to catch that last week. We were on the road traveling when the show came out, but we stand up covering an awful lot of sports here. Well, it's a 3-man change now. The rotation, Wally Bell will go behind the plate. Tony Randazzo.
Randazzo stays at first, Montague at third. And Wally Bell will be ringing him up from behind the plate now as we go to the 9th. Our score tied 5-5. Here's John Olerud, 0 for 2 with 2 walks tonight. Down the line, slicing foul out of play. You look at Olerud, Piazza, and Ventura. Just 1 hit amongst them. That was the single by Piazza way back in the 1st. The walk to Ventura was intentional. Olerud with a 2 walk. That's a pretty typical night for Olerud lately. 2 walks. 1 ball, 1 strike here.
Yeah, that's part of why he gets so many hits. 153 right now in the year. He has his strike zone so defined. Will not swing at pitches out of his zone and try to drive the ball to where it's pitched as he does here.
Drives it into the corner, and that's a fair ball. And it bounces up. It'll be a ground rule double for Olerud. Well, now, a huge question for Bobby Valentine. Do you sacrifice Piazza? I wouldn't. I don't know what he'll do.
How fair is this ball? Looks like it just hits right on the foul line down the left field line. Another look at it. Not fair by much. Now, you said you would probably sacrifice Piazza.
I said I would.
Would not. Yeah, I mean, the numbers he has in this ballpark, no way I would take his bat out of his hands to go out and bunt the baseball.
Melvin Mora will pinch run for Olerud. Mora stretching out at second base. Nobody out. Let Piazza go ahead and swing. I mean, it's a tough call because you'd like to get that guy over to third and give Ventura an easy chance to get him home, but I don't know if I'd ever want to take the bat out of Piazza's hands.
Well, you can't, particularly in this situation with as many big hits as he's got. Situations much like this.
Cost him in last night's ball game.
They just don't fall behind people like Piazza. What kind of speed does Mora have? He had 18 stolen bases in 82 ball games for Tidewater in the International League.
Piazza now 3-0. Don't groove one. He'll have a green light.
Piazza 3 for 10 with a home run lifetime against Dave Veers. Ventura in the on deck circle. 0 for 1.
Well, they walk Piazza. That'll set up a double play at least. That's the good news for Veers. Bad news is he has to face Robin Ventura with 2 men aboard and nobody out. And this will put the 3-man crew to a test.
Now, you've got to know your rotations, and the last time they probably worked with a 3-man crew was when they were in AAA. And all 3 of these umpires, only Tony Randanza has been in AAA in the last. What do you think? I know Ed Montague hadn't been there for 20 years.
Right. Out of play.
Well, maybe a little bit. You might say have seen it in spring training if they worked the 3-man crew. You know what's happened with a lot of guys with a lot of experience? They've been the last week of spring training and worked those 10 games.
Yeah.
They take off. Wally Bell, veteran umpire at the major league level.
Low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Robin Ventura. San Diego leading Atlanta. I know the Mets are scoreboard watching. The Braves losing in San Diego 3-0 in the 5th inning. Gives the Mets even more incentive for this one. Plus, they know the Reds have already won. The Reds, if the Mets lose this one, pull to within a game and a half in the wild card. The Mets win, though. They stay 2.5 up in the wild card and pull to within 1 of the Braves if Atlanta loses that game. The 1-2 pitch is a base hit. Mora, he's being waved home. Here comes Walker's throw. Petrick, he applies a tag. Mora out at the plate.
Now Mora standing at the plate looking at Wally Bell. The throw beat him by 10 feet. Walker on the money. That's his 9th assist in the outfield. Watch Walker look at this throw. Perfectly thrown to home plate to nail Mora. Mora not with a very good jump. The tag out in front. Mora not thinking that Walker would get this throw to home plate, but it didn't look like he had that good a jump coming out of second base. Look at the tag again. Right on the backside as he passed Petrick. A good tag by the young catcher of the Rockies.
A big play here to cut down the go-ahead run. Walker the throw, Petrick the tag. Hamilton now with a foul ball. A base hit for Ventura. Piazza moves to 3rd. Cookie Rojas took a gamble, and it did not pay off.
That's one of the few times that Rojas has taken that type of gamble, because this ball club has hit a lot of home runs. Correct myself, that was Walker's 12th outfield assist of the year. 7 of those 12 assists have come at home plate for Walker.
Man. Out of play, 2 strikes now on Hamilton. Darrell tonight 0 for 4. Well, he's watched Veers this year from a different vantage point. Out in center field. Now he's getting a look at him in the batter's box. grounded into 9 double plays this year. Hit by Petrick. Here comes Piazza. No play. Petrick let a split-fingered pitch get by him, and the Mets have taken a lead.
Nobody feels worse right now than Ben Petrick. The runner at third base must watch the pitch from Dave Veers. He wants to keep it down in the strike zone. Petrick reaches out with the hand, but the ball just breaks out. As soon as it gets by, Piazza on his own instincts takes off. The head first slide, no play at the plate. Wild pitch against Dave Veers.
Another foul ball. Well, a wild pitch to Veers, but later I'm sure Petrick would tell you that's one he should have had.
Well, you got to give yourself up with a runner at third base. You've got to become a hockey goalie and not allow that ball by you.
Petrick made one good play on the tag to get Mora at the plate. And on a pitch down and in, he couldn't handle it. It goes to the backstop. A wild pitch charge to Veers. A 2-2 pitch now. That time he does block it. Mora can advance past second.
Hamilton's worked this count from an 0-2 to a 3-2 full count. Hamilton was third hardest hitter in the National League to strike out.
Mets lead 6-5. Check swing foul. Hamilton upset with himself. Might have been ball 4. Not held. Hamilton stays alive. There's nothing Petrick can do about that. That's just hit or miss. Either you do or you don't. Ventura at second. One out, one in.
You know, Petrick's mind still, you see him shake his head. His mind's still thinking about the pass ball that allowed the go-ahead run.
Broken bat for Hamilton. A little battle in the crowd going on here. There's a contingent of Mets fans behind their dugout chanting, "Let's go Mets," and every time they start it, the Rocky fans start booing.
Extended, gave up some runs and a loss. He's already at 22 pitches tonight. Dejan and Ramirez loose in the bullpen.
Awful. Well, that's a good at bat by Hamilton, really. He was in an 0-2 hole and kept fouling one pitch after another, and finally Veers lost him. Now Roger Cedeno. Cedeno, 2 singles and 4 at-bats tonight.
Rockies would like nothing more than a ground ball double play right now. 1 out. Hitters have extended him.
They threw a lot of pitches last night, 25 more here tonight.
Well, I've just got a feeling that this could be the last guy he faces. 25 pitches right now. He's walked 2 in the inning, given up a hit, but behind in the count.
The only man retired was by Walker. Throw to the plate. 3-0 here to Cedeno. Duel in Kansas City. Royals and Rangers tied at 4 going to the 10th inning. Bud Rodriguez has a home run, his 33rd for the Rangers. Ball 4. Now Leland, he's going to come out and get Dave Veers. 3rd walk by Veers here in the ninth after walking 2 last night. And Jim Leland has watched his closer for another 27 pitches tonight. Dave Veers gives up 2 hits and 3 walks and does not retire a batter himself. And he'll leave with the Rockies trailing 6-5 and the bases loaded for the Mets. We'll be back in a moment. Try to put out the fire here facing Ray Ordonez.
Dejan's only pitched in a couple of ball games since coming off the disabled list at Colorado Springs. This is a year I think Mike would like to forget. A 790 earned run average, 27 strikeouts. This is his 50th appearance. Coming in here with a tough situation. The Rockies down 1. The bases are loaded. Face the 8-hole hitter, Ray Ordonez.
Dejan pointing at the plate. What he's saying is, if I get a ground ball, I'm coming home. Double play. Well, gives the Rockies a fighting chance. Dejan does his job, but the Mets take the lead. Walker, Bichette, and Helton are coming up in the bottom of the ninth. You're trailing by 1, 6-5. Walker, Bichette, and Helton are due up. Morrow came in to pinch run for John Olerud. Stays in the ballgame. He takes over for Ricky Henderson in left. Matt Franco. No relation to John Franco. Matt Franco takes over for Olerud at first base. And the new pitcher is Benitez.
3-2 on the year, 19 saves, 69 in the 3rd innings, 113 strikeouts. The bullpen ranked number 2 in the National League with 41 saves combined. John Franco with 416 career saves. That leads all active closers. Benitez, though, 113 strikeouts, only 36 hits. He's given up just 4 home runs in almost 70 innings. Well, his work's cut out for him now. He'll face Walker, Bichette, and Helton.
So Benitez looking for his 20th save of the year. He's telling me in New York that they're going to go by feel the rest of the way with Benitez and Franco, depending on the situation as to which one will be their closer.
This guy right here takes a lot of guesswork out of it just because how hard he throws. That fastball Walker just turned around 98 miles an hour from Benitez.
Walker with his 4th hit of the ball game. His average up to 373. Walker, by the way, will only need 6 more plate appearances now to qualify for the batting title. It'll be his 2nd straight. Dante Bichette. Well, a home run by Bichette here. Remember, the Mets remember his home run in the Coors Field debut back in 1995 so well. The extra inning home run to beat the Mets. Home run here would send these Rocky fans home happy. Down low from Benitez. That home run in the 14th inning, the Coors Field debut, came off Mike Remlinger. Play.
Baltimore, Benitez had 22 saves. That's the most he'd had at the major league level. Franco went down. They turned it to Cook and Benitez, but Benitez won that battle as being the closer every day. Franco was injured. He went to the minor leagues. He was just activated a week ago by the New York Mets. He's now warming up in their bullpen.
Bouncing ball, Bichette better hustle. In the dirt, dug out by Franco. Dante hits into a double play.
Pressure was on because when the ball was hit to Ventura and they turned the double play, Walker was bearing down Alfonso at second base. Watch it again. This is a slider from Benitez. The quick feed from Ventura to Alfonso, then Walker does his best to try to disrupt the throw to first base, but they're able to turn the double play. Another look at it. Walker bearing down on Alfonso, and then the throw to first for the out.
It was a strong feed by Ventura to Alfonso.
Well, the other thing that Benitez has in his favor, not very many of the Rockies have faced Benitez, only because he has been in the American League most of his career. First time Helton has faced him.
Well, Helton, you could tell by that uppercut swing, looking to try to tie it with one swing of his bat. Helton 3 for 3 in this ball game. Coming in. Cedeno calling everyone off, and the Mets have won game 1 of this series. So Benitez gets his 20th save. The Mets win this one with a run in the ninth, 6-5. We'll come back in just a moment.